it's Linda from Richter Stitcher. I just wanted to come on real quick. What are we? March the 20... Oh gee, I always have to look. And I didn't update my calendar. The last time I changed it was the 14th. Let's see. Today is the 26th of March, which is Tuesday, 2024. But I wanted to come on real quick. Lots of things have happened in the last 2 weeks. I think that's the last time I was on. I've been doing pretty good with focus, my word of the year. I think today what I want to cover mostly is haul, because in the last 2 weeks a lot of things have come between my sewing and my cross stitch. But I wanted to be sure and get it so I can put it away and use it. I want to be good about keeping things kind of orderly. I don't know if you can't probably see behind me, but I haven't made my quilt tube yet, and I would like to do that because a lot of things have come from that area of craft as well. But today I just want to, like I said, focus on that. The only project that I worked on for cross stitch was the one that I said I would start the last time I was on with a friend from Boxcar, Katie's mom, Carolyn. Her and I are doing the Mary Jane Fry 1861 together, and I have pretty much been a monogamous stitcher the last 2 weeks. I've done a few other crafty things, but not cross stitch. So that's the only project I'm going to share today, and then I have a little bit on my knitting that I was doing. So I'll share those two. And I don't want my camera to overheat, so I want to be good about watching the clock. I don't think, well, I'm not sure if I shared these or not, but I'll have to, if I did, I'll slip in my little edit of those projects there on my stand that I have next to me. But to get started, this is the bag that I'm keeping it in, and I did make her one as well, so we have matching bags. But the project I'm talking about is this Mary Jane Fry. It is a black and white copy, sorry about that. But it is a freebie, and I had it, and when she had done her video with Katie and said she was going to start it, I asked her if we could do it together, and we have started that. And it's more of a start along, because between her and I, you know, we don't see each other but maybe once a month when we go to Boxcar. So because of that, I'm going to just keep it out and do what I need to. The fabric I'm using is a 40 count Country Mocha Newcastle linen. And I am using the Called For Flosses, the DMC. And that's these right here. I'm keeping them on this ring. That has a magnet that's really strong. So I just wanted to share the colors there. And then I hadn't started it before, so if you are following me on my socials, you see that. And excuse the pins that are in here. I'm right now trying to count my way up so I can start at a new area. But I didn't take it out of the Q-snap either. But you can see I've finished the border. And I'm not going to say that was really easy, because there was a lot of counting in that border. And in 2 weeks I was able to close it up. And I think I had to fudge it twice. So there's a fudge down here in this corner, and I think over in this corner. I don't remember, but you really have to look hard to find them. So I was off by one stitch on this bottom corner, so I had to fudge it. I didn't want to have to pull everything all out. And then I did go ahead and get started on the inner border. And the neat thing about that, and I mentioned it in one of my posts, is I've never noticed a difference. I've tried the sewing method on some things, but not for a very long period. And having this loose in here, I'm able to flex my needle in and out. And I really find it's a lot easier and quicker. So I think I might continue that throughout that border. I'm even actually doing it on some of the leaves, but when I think about it, sometimes I forget and go back to the old way, but Shellie Fry on Antique Needleworks did a video on the pin stitch, which I had already just learned, but towards the very end of that video, she shares how she stitches, and the sewing method is her way of stitching. So I really enjoyed seeing it the way she had the camera on the fabric. So that's my progress so far on Mary Jane Fry, and I will probably keep this one out as my main stitching. I'm thinking about starting one for Easter, but I might just pull out one that I've done in the past and work on the ones that I've done in the past at Easter time. I'm getting to that point, I think, where I've got so many projects going, I don't want to continue starting new ones, just keep focusing on the ones that I have started. And I think I've mentioned that in the past as well. So that's the one project. Like I said, this might be a short one for cross stitch that I worked on. Let me put my flosses in here. I don't want to forget where I put things, and I'll take this back in the living room. I worked a little bit on my seating area. We went away for the weekend, so when I got back from the lake, I had to bring all my stuff out and set it up again. And I also, one of the things that I got in my haul was a new light and magnifier, because my Ott light had broke and we still haven't fixed it. So my husband had bought a magnifying light that he really likes that he's using, and so I'm not crazy about the color, and I'll insert a picture if I think of it, of what it looks like in my sitting area. I actually gonna grab the box so that you can at least see what the product is. This is the light. It's called LED Desktop Magnifier, and yes, I got it on Amazon. And I don't recall its cost. It was maybe $40 if I'm thinking correctly. But it's got 3 functions, and this shows the round, but I purchased the one that's got the flatbed, which I like because if it's sitting on a table in front of me and for retreats, which I'm going to get to here in a minute, this will be handy to have in front of me with my scissors that I can magnetize. I have a little gadget that holds my scissors that will magnetize to that, and so I'm really liking that function. It's like almost like a little table that I have that I can set my extra needles and things like that on. But like I said, it's got 3 different functions for lighting, dim as well as really bright white, and then the magnification on the light itself is really good, and the way it goes up and down. So I'm really enjoying using this the last couple weeks, so I did want to share that with you. The only other project, like I said, was the knitting, and I didn't get very far, but I do want to keep going at it because I think a lot of people have already finished their hats that Tiger Lily was doing the beanie along. But I'm going to keep going at it, but it is my only knitting project that I've got going right now, so that's another monogamous thing that I'm doing. I got all 112 onto the circular needles that I'm using, which were also the same ones that Kari shares. I can link her video or her page below if you're looking to start something like that. But I think I'm on row, let me look at my little counter. I use one of these counters. I'm on row 5 of the rim of the hat, and I don't know if you can see the actual knitting is what I'm doing. So it's been fun. I'm hoping, I haven't dropped a stitch yet, and I'm not sure what I'll do if I do, because I've never had to pick up a drop stitch. I did find on row 2, I think it was 2 or 3, because you have to have 112, and when I went to count on that row, I had 113. So I don't know if it's the right way or the wrong way, but I picked up 2 stitches, a couple, as I started that row. I went 2 or 3 in, and then I picked up 2 instead of the 1, so that I would get 112 again back on my thing. So it is probably good to count after each row to make sure that you're keeping up the same amount, because you don't want to get off. And I remember when I first started knitting, I didn't do that. I got lazy, and you could see the edge was going in or out because either I added or subtracted too many as I was doing it. But I want to focus on that. So that's my progress on my knitting. So I'm pleased that I'm kind of focusing on those 2 areas besides the sewing that I want to do in a separate video. So I am very pleased with my progress to stay focused. Other than that, all I have is some haul that I wanted to share, and of course watching all the other Flosstubes is really pretty much what happens and how I get all this haul, or being with other friends. After I finish the haul, though, I do want to quickly share some exciting news that I'm excited about that happened in the last couple weeks as well. But I'll start with this purchase, and excuse the crinkle. I did not take them out of the plastic, and I probably won't just because of the noise. But it was Holly's of Hobby, and Holly's her name, shared on her Flosstube some bags that she was using, and what she really liked about them, and I'm going to try to do this quietly, is the fact that they're a little larger than the plastic or the project bags that I had made previously. These ones here, you can tell that they're slightly a little bit bigger than these ones. And I went with the 20 pack. You can get them in a 10 pack. But I have a lot of these, but I am really low because I have so many projects going. I've bought them several times. But the fact that these have 2 pockets, I think will be nice to put your flosses in one as well as the pattern in the other, or your Q-snap or whatever. But because of that, I went ahead and got 20 more because I am still organizing my shelf over there. I really haven't done a whole lot in the last 2 weeks with all the other things going on around here. But I will get back to it, and those will be very helpful in the organization of my patterns. The other thing, and I'll share this one in a second because that'll be more of an unboxing. I mentioned in the previous video also that I had bought some scissors from Susan Stanley, and I don't know if I inserted it in the last video. If not, you're getting duplicates, but I went ahead with those scissors that I purchased for my wool cutting. I purchased some really vibrant colored, this is the silk, a Verosois. So I got some colors with that. So that was a purchase through her channel's Stitch in Time with Susan Stanley. So I'll link all these below. This is a Happy Mail. I'll share that in a second. And of course I've been going to 1-2-3-Stitch. And I mentioned in my last video also that I didn't want to start this one. And this is more of a spring start. So Easter Spring is kind of the one I was thinking of starting. But I wanted to make sure I had the pattern and flosses first, because it was a borrowed pattern, but I returned it. So because of that, I wanted to make sure I purchased the pattern before I started it. It's Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird. And I did get this at 1-2-3, so I got the pattern as well as the this is a 40 count putty. Actually, this one's not going with this. I'm sorry. This is going for something else. But I did get a 16th yard of 40 count putty. I'll have to remember what I bought it for. It'll come to me, but I already had the fabric for this one that I'm using that had the blue in it. So when I actually start this, I'll share that again, as well as all the called for flosses that I needed most of them are the sampler threads that was called for with this pattern. So I went ahead and got those as well from 1-2-3 Stitch. So that was a 1-2-3 Stitch purchase. Oh, and these peacemakers. I haven't used them yet, and I am anxious to try a few other needles. These ones are made in Japan, and they are size 28, and they come in a 6-pack. So those were also on that purchase when I picked this up. Let's see. As everything falls. I will be picking that up later. So that was the Blackbird one. Another one that I got through, let's see where this one's from, make sure. Well, it says 1-2-3 Stitch. Oh yes, with the market haul that I got, I had heard that Bluebirds of Happiness was also kind of a go along with the new one that came out from JBW Designs. So I, of course, had to buy the Bluebirds of Happiness. And then it couldn't come alone, and I went ahead and got the new Prairie Schooler 2024 Santa. So that was another, I think in the last 2 weeks, I've been there two or three times. I had to wait at least 2 weeks before I could get there again, so there was a couple orders when I picked it up. So that was one of them. And then Hobby House Needleworks. Oh yes, this is my market haul. So some of this stuff is market and things that I couldn't not pass up. I don't think this is a new one though for market, but someone shared it on theirs and I just had to get it. It's the Indigo Lane. It might have been Evertotes. I can't remember, but I love the blue. So I thought I need to find that one. So I finally did get that through Hobby House Needleworks. And of course it couldn't come alone because I needed whichever, where did it go? I just had it. Just seen it. It probably fell on the floor and I don't see it. This is how scattered I feel today. Nope, I found it. I needed some grits because there's a pattern that I have that's just about out on the skein and I think I'm going to run out. So I went ahead and picked up some Weeks grits from Hobby House Needleworks. And I will link them below as well. And they do have an Etsy shop. No, not an Etsy shop. It's, what do they call it? I use the shop app is what I use when I buy from Hobby House. It's just easier and quicker. And the rest, I think, is more patterns here. This is keepsakes. I did get my market from them. It was the Hello from Liz Matthews new pattern. I was on their list to keep getting the trees that she has going. So this is their card if you've not been to Keepsakes. I hope this isn't backwards. If it is, we'll fix it later. But their green gingham, of course, is their signature. Get this out of here. I had ordered a piece of fabric that I'm going to probably have to remember what it's for. But I needed a 28 count raw natural. So I'll have to remember what I was needing it for. But as I'm going through my patterns that I've kitted, I'll be able to tell. So that was a piece of raw natural. I'm liking the feel of it. It was probably for a Santa, but I'm not positive. But this is the new one from Liz Matthews. 10th Day of Christmas Sampler and Tree. So I did get that. I had started doing the framed ones, but after seeing Helen D's trees that she was making, and I hadn't gotten very far on the first day of Christmas, so I decided I'm just going to pull that out and I'm going to do all the trees, but I've noticed this one she's got in a blue fabric. I'm probably going to switch, like I said in the last video, and use all the same fabrics for my trees. And I don't know if I'll have to do any adjusting on colors or not, but some of these tree houses down here might blend in too much, so I might have to do some adjustment on that. But I did get that pattern from Keepsakes, as well as that piece of fabric. Nothing can travel alone. Another shop off of Etsy is where I got most of the markets that I wasn't going to buy any, but I ended up buying 3 or 4 market pieces, and I'll share those now. We have 3 in this one, and it's from a place called One Thrifty Stitcher. Cover up my address. I'll show you the name. On Etsy, they had all of the 3 that I wanted, so that's why I went with that particular Etsy shop, because if I can get them all from one place, then that's what I'm going to do. These were my favorites from market this year. Of course, Plum Street Samplers, Proverbs 31. I did that one. No thoughts of when I'm starting any of these. I'll probably just file them. And another blue and white one that I fell in love with. All the next 3 are going to be from the same designer, JBW Designs. I did the Fleur De Alphabet from her, as well as Flights of Fancy Italian 1801. Very pretty. I just love the birds. And of course it's spring, so I went with the spring theme. And then When Cardinals Appear. That one I notice a lot of people are really interested in. So I am looking forward to kitting these up. And like I said, no time frame of when I'm actually going to start these. Let's see what else. I did find another Etsy shop, and I'll have to link it below because I don't see a card. Maybe it's, yes, it's Craft and Treasure Cove, and they have unique patterns and older ones that you don't see out very often. So I got to perusing and seeing the ones that really I thought were something I would do, and so that's why I went with it. So yeah, Craft and Treasure Cove. And she only had like one-offs of things because they're just not out there anymore. So because of that, I went ahead and snatched 3 different patterns up, and I'll share those now. This is a leaflet, and it says Raindrop, but it also says at the top, The Quilt Makers. I guess that's the title of it, by Betty Frice Baumer. So this is the leaflet, and I liked it because it kind of reminded me of Jim Shore, not Jim Shore. Oh, what is his name? Oh, I can't think of it. I'll have to put it below. But it's got a fence full of quilts hanging over it. So I just thought that was so cute, and I thought I'm going to have to get that. I mean, somebody paid $4.50 for it at one time, but I can't remember what it was on her site. Maybe it's here on the receipt. No, that was something else that might not be here. Yeah, that's something else, but I will look forward to doing that one. And then the next 2 are also, I think they're older ones. Home is Where You Hang Your Needlework by Homespun Elegance. I just had to have that one on my sampler wall. And I'm into the lake and things of the lake, so when I seen this Plum Street Antiques, Peggy Chirac 1803, I really liked it. It's got some boats on there and a little brick house, and I fell in love with it. Sorry if there's a glare because I got my window open and it's still in the plastic, but called Peggy Chirac. It was back in 2013, so it's going on 11 years old, but I thought that was a neat, unique one. A couple other things here. Trying to do this quickly. I did get a happy mail from another market. It was Primitive Gatherings was having a live that Jayme was on, and they drew my name for a giveaway. So she sent along this book that she gave, and they also put some stickers and some needles and a little keychain, as well as some thimble guards, which will come in handy for hand stitching. So I was very pleased to get that, and don't usually win things like that, so that was a fun one. And then Fat Quarter Shop also came this past couple weeks. I'm trying to remember what else came with it, but right now all that's in this basket is a piece of white petite point gray 18 count, and I will use that for sure. I'll put that in my stash. A couple other happy things at my quilt store that I stitch at on Wednesdays. Usually I do my wool piece, my snowman rug hooking. One of the ladies had brought me a couple things and asked if I was interested in them, and one is this that I could put a piece on, which I thought was just very unique. I'll clean it up and be able to put one of my cross-stitch pieces on that, as well as a little basket that it looks like somebody crocheted and then used the stuff that makes it hard and just made a little basket out of it. So those were some other happy mail things that I had got. And while out at Target, I think it was, or no, Michael's, one of those stores, they had a little flower. So a few more things to frame pieces on that. And this kind of matches, I don't know if you probably can't see it behind me. My door has this, so I would just have to paint it and maybe make it into a hook. And I'll have 3 of those hooks if that's what I decide to do with that. And then this, and then my announcement. Other than that, I think we're done. I have the big book of hand embroidery projects. I seen Linens and Scraps, I think it was Cathy, that talked about this book and mentioned the needle book in here. And I had already had this book from another Flosstuber that I had watched, Lounsbury. Cathy Lounsbury had mentioned it on one of her videos, and so I went searching on Amazon and found it, but didn't realize there was a needle book in here. So I will look forward to going through this and finding some projects that I could possibly do, and there's some quilting things in here as well. But so I was looking through that and thought I would share. That was another book that I had received. Oh, and I guess I better share this. I was watching Sheri from Colorado Cross Stitcher did her recent video, and things that she has been into lately, and cups came up. So of course when she shared this, I had to get it. So excuse the noise, but everyone I've noticed too has said that they keep them as cold as the Stanley cups, and I really didn't want to spend $60 on a Stanley cup, so this was half that price. So I went ahead and got the Hydro Flask, and if you know me, I have to decorate things, so I went ahead and got some accoutrement to decorate it. I haven't done it yet, so in my next video I will, but I found the one that fits the cup. It goes on the bottom so that it doesn't get all scuffed, so that will be fun to use on the Hydro Flask, and it's got like a scalloped look to it. So I picked that up, as well as something when I'm out and about that will hold my phone and like my ID. I'm going to try to rip this open. I'll have a mess to clean up after this video. Excuse me while I pull this open. So, and I'm also waiting on some stickers for it that will be on it. So next time I have a video, I will share what that looks like. But it comes with a strap, and I went with the spring theme, so I've got a really long one. Or you can just do a short handle. So it comes with a couple options, and these are all Amazon purchases. And then, like I said, it's got a zipper pocket here. I'm all into decorating the things that I use. And then it's Velcro for the handle. It will slip right in here. So I am anxious to use this. It needs to be washed, of course. But thanks to Sheri and her video of cups, I mean, it'll hide the stickers and things, but when I'm not out and about and I'm using it here at the house, it'll just, of course, come out of here. But that was a unique find, and I always save up my points on Amazon, so things are a little bit cheaper than what they are on when you're doing it. Other than that, I think that's it for today's video, and I didn't say which number this is. I'm probably really close to the camera, too. Are we at 22? If that's wrong, I'll put it below. But I'm getting close to 25, not quite there yet, but there's been several delays over the last year and a half or so. But I have enjoyed it and like to share all the things, so because of that, I will continue, whether it's every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks. That's kind of the focus this year in 2024. But lastly, I have to share, I'm going to my first cross-stitch retreat. I am so excited to do this. And it's with Boxcar. We are free to share the information now. I did just get an email, though, today that said they only had 6 slots. And they're not a very big facility, so it can only hold 25, I think. And they opened it up after those that go to the Boxcar monthly stitch-ins. They shared it with us first. And I guess all but 6 spots got filled, which is really good. So if there's anybody out there that's in the Texas Metroplex and looking for a retreat to go, I can put the information below, as well as it is in July. I think it's the 25th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. It's a Thursday through Sunday from noon to noon, and you know, all the information. I can also put the number below if you want to call the shop and get on the list, because like I said, only 6 spots left. I'm not sure how quickly those will go, but I am so excited to have paid and registered. My husband knows that I'm going to my first cross-stitch retreat, so with like this box behind me, and I didn't share, I did find another box that is a train case, and I watched a video in the last couple weeks on how to remake these, and I can actually, some of these might need to be replaced or at least cleaned up really good with some polish. But I am going to try to remake my case so that I have something to put all of my goodies in. While we were at Boxcar also, someone gave me this little hoop, so I might make a little zipper pull out of that. Other than that, that was my purchases. I found this in my town at a antique shop, so because of that, my retreat has finally, seems like it's happening. Hopefully nothing going in the way of that, but I am looking forward to attending my first cross-stitch retreat and get to know a few of the ladies that we've been stitching with over the last year, I guess. But Boxcar is a quilt shop, but this is their first cross-stitch retreat, so it's kind of neat to see all these different quilt stores and things branching out into the cross-stitch area, and I am just so excited to be able to attend one of them finally and not have to go too far, because like I said, it's only a 20-25 minute drive for me to get there. I will not come home, though. I am going to end up staying there at the retreat because I want to have the full experience of my first retreat away. When I got that train case, I did get one of these frogs. I couldn't believe I found it in my color. So I'll use this for either scissors, and you can use them for flowers too, but I don't put a lot of flowers out, real flowers. So I will end up putting this in a bowl, a nice pretty bowl, and putting my scissors maybe next to my stitchy spot. I think I only paid $8 for that. So it is ceramic though, so it will break. So I'm always finding little things here and there with stitching and sewing, so I'm always got a pile of stuff to put away when I'm done with these videos. But thank you for joining me. It is Easter week, so I want to wish everyone that celebrates a happy Easter. And I will hopefully be back in a couple weeks. You can follow me on my Instagram as well as Facebook if you enjoy what I share, and if you want to comment, I will definitely reply and like and love those responses. I appreciate you following me, and we will talk to you next time. Bye-bye. Today, I know I've bought a few Mill Hills, or I have a few in my box that were gifted to me, but I think I'm going to go ahead and start this one first. I just love it too much after seeing it stitched up from Becca Sambria Stitches. Sorry for the crinkling. It doesn't look like it's too big though. I'm not sure. Maybe hers just looked bigger, unless this unfolds, but I guess it's always so big. So I was going to see if I can get it into my frame here. And make sure I've got the pencil to the pencil. Let's do this straight. And then tomorrow I will sort all of the flosses onto a ring to keep them sorted. Ooh, got my finger. Woo! That is sharp, or very, very sharp. I guess this is the side here, the brown side, because that side's not painted. So yeah, there's quite a few colors in here. Buttons and beads. How many's in there? Quite a few. So, but these are the, look at those pretty colors. I've never beaded, so this should be interesting. They've got the needles in there as well, in this one anyways. And then it comes with the little bird, because on the front, just like this here, there's the bird right there. And then the wad of flosses, so I'll need to put these, separate the colors for the symbols, make sense of it all. But this should be fun, and that holds that perfect, so I don't have to put my hands all over the paper and it won't get really soft, because sometimes when you use perforated paper and keep handling it, it gets really soft. So I like that brown color, and the Tree of Life. I guess the back are the beads, because those are the purpley things. And I guess you do the beads last after you do the flosses. So we will get this figured out. I'll read the instructions, since I've never beaded before. Thanks, Becca, for posting. Like I said, it'll be my first beaded project. Never done a Mill Hill, so we'll see how this goes.